What is going on, everyone, and welcome back to another Sports Talk on Tap video. We're here. You can find daily uploads Monday through Friday covering all the major sports leagues, whether it be games, highlights, news, anything really tier list. As you can see on the screen here, it is our NFL episode. And in today's episode, we've focused a lot on the offense side of the ball. We've done quarterbacks, receivers, running backs. But today, we're going to be focusing on defense. And in this tier, we're going to be ranking, where we think each defense lines up because, I think that's the way to judge a defense as a whole because, the front seven, the pressure will help out the secondary, I feel like, and the linebackers, their coverage will help out the secondary and et cetera. If they're really good blitzing, they'll help out that pass rush. So, I think it's important to grade defenses as a whole where we think they'll be. And I'm curious, and for anyone that hasn't watched our tiers before, we kind of try and reserve one team for us here. Last time we did two, one from each conference, so we might do that again. We'll kind of see. A lot of interesting stuff that we tend to agree on a decent amount, but we also tend to disagree on some, at least a tier or two where we think. But once again, this list is kind of based on projection, where we think we'll be next year, because obviously a lot of moves were made this offseason, and we're not, just going to be judging off of what we've seen in the past. We got to take into account who they've added and all that stuff and how we think they'll play out. That's the beauty of this. We'll look back and we'll definitely look stupid on some. But I bet we'll be right on some others. So with that being said, Nick, let's start with the reigning AFC East champion Buffalo Bills. For me,
I think they're going to they got a lot worse. Like, they didn't get much better in the offseason. Like, they lost so many different guys.
That's the thing, though. I don't – Jordan Poyer wasn't that good last year. Tre'Davious White was always injured. They add Matt Milano back from injury.
He's big. He's their biggest, addition.
Yeah, and Sean McDermott's a very defensive coach. This defense is always scrappy. I would still give them the respect of, a low B-tier team. I don't think they're like an S-tier, but they're not, bad.
I agree with B. I would say B or C. I know you said McDermott's a defensive guy, but in the past 2 years, I just can't trust him with his coaching. I
can't trust him in the playoffs, but this is regular season. They always seem to get some crucial stops in games, and they're always lurking around the top 12 defenses. Jordan Poyer was really not that great last year, and they lost some veterans, but they're going to get faster. I still love Tyron Johnson. I still love Matt Milano, and I still think this team will just find a way to get it done, like they always do. Kaiir Elam, maybe he can step up, and you still got a good pass rush there. Too bad Von Miller just could not do shit last year.
Right. He was awful last year when he came back.
Yeah, but maybe
blocking
dummy. Maybe he's still dealing with the injury. Maybe he's back to the way he was before injury. Who knows? I think they'll still be decent, though. They always just find a way, kind of team, to be average or slightly above average. Next team, Miami Dolphins. They lost Christian Wilkins. You still got Jalen Ramsey, but you lose Vic Fangio. You lost Van Ginkel. This team did lose a lot of key defensive pieces. They bought in, I believe, what was his name? That guy from the Commanders, the cornerback. He was kind of like the Kendall Fuller, one of the top.
Their secondary is going to be pretty good. I mean, Jalen Ramsey's a beast when he's –
yeah, their secondary is solid, but their front seven lost two of its key pieces. I'd go C.
I agree with that too. Back-to-back agreements. I love to see it. I don't think these two teams.
If they kept Christian Wilkins and Van Ginkel, this would have been a high B defense. But obviously, you got to pay some money.
These two teams might have a scary year. The Bills are very. I'm very uncertain about the Bills. The main thing is obviously Josh Allen, but I don't know.
You still got Josh Allen. I think they'll find a way.
Yeah, you still have the best quarterback in your division, so you're probably going to win it. But
yeah, we'll see though. Next team though, it's going by division, so this is kind of nice. So, New England Patriots.
I don't want to hear disrespect on this one. This is what the Patriots have had.
Patriots, even with how bad they've been, they always have a solid defense. Obviously superstar names, but they have some high-end names.
Matt Judon. They re-signed a bunch of key defensive players this offseason, so it's pretty much all the same guys.
Matt Judon, is he coming off an injury? Because I didn't really hear much of him last year.
He had an injury like in same injury or same week that Christian Gonzalez got injured.
Yeah, Christian Gonzalez, if he can look the way he did for those first couple games, that would be a huge addition to this back end.
I'd put them B. I put them high B.
I'd put them around. Yeah,
I think they're better than the Bills. I think they're better than the Bills defense. I really do.
Maybe. I don't know. It's tough to tell because they would the Patriots would have some games where they looked like a top 10 defense, and then they'd have some games like they looked like dog shit. So
well, at the same time, half the other team's scoring would come from a Mac Jones.
Yeah, no, half. I mean, but it's hard to judge a team when Mac Jones is out there on the team.
Exactly. Like when the defense has to be out there constantly because Mac Jones goes 3 and out.
I was thinking I wasn't thinking too far from you. I was thinking like low B. But yeah, around there.
Okay, I'll give you this. When
we'll see what other teams are like.
There's a stretch last year where the Patriots gave up less than 10 points in 3 straight games, and they lost all of them.
Yeah, no, I remember the Colts game. No, there was some really good. There were some games
Chargers game they didn't give up a touchdown. Lost. So
yeah, no, they're always scrappy on defensive end, but we'll see what happens with Jerod Mayo taking over. Should be exciting regardless, though. Next team, Jets. This is going to be probably an A-tier defense for me.
I would say, A or right above the Patriots. They're probably the best.
I mean, dude, just Sauce Gardner. Assuming Hassan Reddick stays there, that'd be a huge addition.
They did lose Bryce Huff though, which is a big loss.
But Hassan Reddick is, I think, better than him, and if he's healthy,
you think Hassan Reddick's better than Huff? Huff's way younger too, though. That's the thing.
Bryce Huff is strictly a pass rusher. Hassan Reddick can do some stuff in the run game where Bryce Huff just couldn't, which isn't his fault. But Bryce Young was a pass rush specialist, so you kind of replace them. Take it one way or another, but you still have Sauce Gardner there, and similar to the Patriots, but even at a better level, despite horrible quarterback play, they would always stay in every single game, and would really, make it life difficult on any team looking to score. This defense led by Robert Saleh, I mean, as much as people can give them flack, they're still always, making it difficult on even Patrick Mahomes. We saw last year throw a couple picks, That's when you have an elite defense, when you're frustrating Patrick Mahomes.
Quinnen Williams, I think they just re-signed him to a big deal.
They still have DJ Reed on the other side. Solid.
Yep.
Solid cornerback. So, yeah, I'd give them the respective A for now. And if they have a Rodgers, maybe they look even better and move up. Yeah. Baltimore Ravens last year were the definition of the S-tier defense. Yep. But this year, they did lose some pieces. I would still, though, go with around I still really like this defense. If you have Roquan Smith on that team, you're going to be good. Marlon Humphrey.
Is Patrick Queen with them? Or did he
No. But I didn't really think Patrick Queen was all that great. He wasn't really that good in coverage.
He was a great linebacker, too. Like when Roquan Smith got there, he would be.
Yeah. I would go low A. I don't think they're as quite good as the Jets all around. But because they lost, but they did re-sign Justin Madubuike, I believe. So, that's huge. So I'd go A around there, wherever you want to put them. They're still going to be really good, despite losing some pieces. But with that being said, Ravens looking to repeat as AFC North champs. They got a long way to go. But elite defense will help you. Next team, the Bengals. This is a team, we're both high on, more so for their offense.
Yeah.
But defense is decent. They always kind of just find a way to be scrappy. They were winning games with, what's his name? Jake Browning at quarterback. They were staying competitive. I would say this is a definition of a high C defense. It's not or a low B. It's okay. They have some pieces. They did lose DJ Reader. But, they just kind of find a way to stay, relevant in a way. What were you thinking here?
I'm thinking like C level with the Dolphins. I mean, losing DJ Reader's big. Like he's a big guy in the run game.
Yeah, we can go C level.
And they don't have any like breakout corners that I can. I mean, Eli Apple. I mean, everybody knows the
Yeah,
story
that's
about him.
not. It's
Everybody
just weird
knows
though. Like they're always like middle of the pack. Yeah, I'd go C.
it's going to be their offense, like you just said. It's
Yeah.
going to be their offense that carries them throughout the year. If their
And
defense
just
can
for
hold it,
whatever reason though, the Bengals defense always seems to get key stops whenever they need it.
oh
I
yeah, definitely.
about a couple defenses, but this defense really does. But yeah,
And
next
they know how to contain Mahomes too, which is like
yeah, they do,
an
which is
underrated
huge.
thing. I'll put
Which
that
alone is
because
a
of that,
cheat
I'll
code.
put them.
Next team, Cleveland Browns. They were the number one defense last year. Myles Garrett, obviously, arguably the best defensive player in the NFL. Still got Denzel Ward. You got a lot of beasts. That front seven gets after you. Where would you want to go? I still think they're going to be good. Don't know if they're going to be the best again, but Jim Schwartz coaches up a great game plan. I would go like A.
Yeah, I was gonna. They're not. I have a different team that's S tier, but I would put them A. Like just having Myles Garrett is going to make you a top tier defense.
Yeah.
You think they're better than the Ravens?
They're around right there, I believe. Yeah. At this point, there's not like a clear where I'd put them kind of thing.
This is the team I would put in S. I think they're if TJ Watt's healthy.
Yeah, the Steelers. I mean, I was gonna give them the respect and put them like A. You obviously have TJ Watt.
I mean, if you look at the rest of the AFC teams, which are they cut off right here.
Yeah, the Chargers obviously aren't better. Raiders aren't. Chiefs, if they had L'Jarius Sneed, could have made an argument.
Yeah,
but,
the Chiefs are the only team that can make an argument. But I don't know if
Broncos no tight. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I could see it. Yeah, we could go Steelers. Obviously, you've got TJ Watt and just some dogs on that team. I believe Cameron Hayward's still there. So, you want to put them S? Do you think this is the best defense in the AFC?
Going into the year, just like on paper and thinking of, I mean, every year the Steelers put up a great defense, and Kenny Pickett really held them back
And carried them to the playoffs. Yeah,
right, exactly. If TJ Watt plays, I think he's the best defensive player in the league. So I would put them in S.
All right, let's do it. I'm not opposed to it. I like the Texans. I like the Steelers. Next team though, the Houston Texans. Boy, they were really a surprise defense last year. They did lose Blake Cashman, Jonathan Grenard, but they got Danielle Hunter, superstar pass rusher. I think this defense might be. I still think that this defense might be an A tier team. This team is really. This defense might even take another step because they're just so scrappy. Devin Singletary, or not Devin Singletary. What's his name? The cornerback. Derek Stingley. I don't know why I said Devin Singletary was with them last year. Yeah, I think this team. This is going to be really solid. D'Amico Ryans coaches whatever defense he does into a top unit, it feels like. So I like that. Next team, Colts. Interesting team. I think they were able to take the first defense player on the board, Latu. You still have some interesting pieces there, like Kenny Moore.
DeForest Buckner, I believe, is still there.
Yep, solid. I'd say this defense is solid, like a B tier.
Yeah,
defense.
It's probably definition B.
There's really no bad part. Next team, the Jaguars. Josh Allen's obviously there, and they're it's weird. They're awful in pass defense. They're really good in run defense. I think that alone puts you around like a C tier because you have Josh Allen there.
Mm-hmm.
They have some guys that are just scrappy, but I don't know. They don't have
DBs. I can't even think of who they have.
Yeah, they did have Darius Williams last year, but he went back to the Rams, who was like their pick six machine. But yeah, so he's gone. All right, yeah, I'm fine with that.
Did they trade CJ Henderson? Pretty sure they traded him.
Yeah, they did. I believe. I forgot to what team, but they still have Josh Allen, who's a dog. So that alone. Next team though, Tennessee. Their front seven is always, like pretty good. You have obviously Jeffrey Simmons there. Last season, though, they traded Kevin Byard away to the Eagles.
They upgraded. They got L'Jarius Sneed though, which is big.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing. I would put them either because of that L'Jarius Sneed trade, like low B, high C.
I would say B because another
Yeah.
person they added in the draft, Devondre Sweat, correct?
Oh yeah, I forgot about him. Yeah,
He's-
I mean, I like
he's
them.
gonna be a big
The
one.
L'Jarius Sneed move was a smart one. Smart
I'm gonna
trade.
put him in B.
I just am concerned losing Mike Vrabel because he was such a good defensive head coach. I don't know. They're going to Brian Callahan now, offensive minded. So, how does that, transform? Because Mike Vrabel always had that defense playing good and always had a good game plan, but, we'll see. Broncos. Oh, lost Justin Simmons. I mean, his defense was kind of not great. D.
They gave up 70 points. That's all you need to know.
D.
I'll give them D. There's nothing to like about the Broncos. There's nothing. There's no bright spot.
Sorry, Sam.
Yeah, sorry.
Next team, I'm going to give them the respect, even though they lost to Jerry Sneed. They still have Chris Jones there and Steve Spagnuolo. Whatever game plan he coaches up, this defense is always scrappy. A.
Yeah, I'd say like middle A.
Yeah,
Maybe.
I mean the defense low key won them a Super Bowl. So shout out to that defense. Next team, Raiders. You add Christian Wilkins, who will be a huge spot, and you still have Max Crosby. So that pass rush is probably top of the AFC, but then also that secondary is not that great. So kind of balances in the middle somewhere, like high C, just because you have two high-end guys in the front seven.
Yeah,
and Antonio Pierce.
Is their number one cornerback Jack Jones?
Yeah, in there. But, I mean, Antonio Pierce is a defensive-minded coach, and they were playing a lot better with them. But, however you want to put it.
Sure.
Next team. Chargers.
Chargers make the C for me.
Yeah, I mean, trust
Harbaugh might elevate them. Harbaugh can elevate.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking because, I mean, you still have Khalil Mack, Joey Bosa. Is Derwin James still there? I believe so.
Yep.
It's just like, but, I think Jim Harbaugh will elevate them a little. They still obviously got some big-time players and a good front seven, but who knows what's going to happen. Or a good front four, I should say, because those linebackers are not that great. But I like Khalil Mack and I like Joey Bosa, so I'd give them C. I think Harbaugh will elevate them a little bit because after that it gets very, very, not so great.
Mm-hmm.
Next team, the Dallas Cowboys. Dallas regular season could arguably be the S tier of the NFC. Micah Parsons has his name up there for, best defensive player in the league. You still have Trayvon Diggs, Deron Bland. That's a solid 1-2 punch at cornerback. You still have, Dexter Lawrence, or not Dexter Lawrence. I forget his name. I'm blanking on it. DeMarcus Lawrence. Mike Zimmer, I actually think will elevate this defense. People forget with the Vikings, he was a really good defensive head coach. I would go like high B, low A.
Okay. I'll put them in B. I don't want to put too many teams in A.
I would put them ahead of the Patriots, though.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. Just talent. They have a bunch of superstars. I mean, You mentioned Deron Bland, and his breakout year. I mean, and Trayvon Diggs. Yeah, Trayvon Diggs. He tore his ACL, didn't he, last year? Like early.
Yeah, like game 3 of the year. So, you're basically adding a whole other piece to this team. Next team, Giants. I think this is.
I'm just playing.
I was about to say, a lot of people, think the Giants will suck, and rightfully so. But I think that's more so to do with the offense. This defense added Brian Burns, really good pass rusher. I forget his first name, but Banks, the cornerback, was really solid for them last year. And this was a defense that kind of suffered from being on the field a whole lot.
Thibodeau was good too, wasn't he?
Yeah, Thibodeau, breakout year, slot front seven's good. Dexter Lawrence is in that mix. So their front seven's actually low-key elite. And then if, Banks is there, I would put this defense, like they got some names. Like I'd go B. I think they got like
You go B? Oh, I would have said like middle C.
really? Because even with Brad, that front seven is probably one of the best in the NFC alone.
I do agree. Like they have a really good. How about high C? You think that? Like, do you think they're better than the Titans?
It's close. I think. Here's the thing, though. I think I don't mind keeping the Patriots B, but I feel like the Giants just have more names than the Patriots.
Hey, names aren't everything. Names aren't everything.
But you add Brian. That front seven is better than the Patriots, I'd say.
You'd put them all the way up here.
I would do some moving around. I think Cowboys are the definition of high B. I think the Titans should be a little bit more in the middle, and I maybe move Buffalo like down lower to C, or just all the way across. And then if we're doing this like theoretically in order, I'd probably put them over the Colts. I put them around there, and then I put the Patriots like after the Colts.
Put the Patriots down here. All right.
Yeah.
Say for
Just
now.
because you got Thibodeau, Burns, Dexter Lawrence, that front four is badass. And then Banks was really good last year. As much as people talked about everyone else. He was really solid. And this was a defense that suffered from tough, close losses, and the offense just giving up pick sixes left and right. So it was a similar situation. I think they're like the definition of the Patriots, but with just like higher names, like a slightly more talent.
It's kind of like the Jets, but I mean the Jets were actually like a good defense.
Yeah, Jets are always just so good, even with the offense selling. Next team, Eagles. Front seven, could argue like S tier. That secondary really sold them the back half of the year. James Bradbury was free eats, but now they've added two cornerbacks, Quinion Mitchell and Cooper DeJean. I'm not really sold on Cooper DeJean, but we'll see how Quinion Mitchell does. They're relying on some rookies. Darius Slay, another year older. They add Bryce Huff, but they also lose Hassan Reddick. So give it what you want, but that front seven, will still always be deadly. Jordan Davis. You get what's his name? The rookie they drafted last year that was injured. Nolan Smith. Nolan Smith will be coming in. So I like this defense. I'd go like low, but the secondary still some question marks, like B.
Ooh, you say B? I would have put him in A.
I mean, that secondary just has too many question marks for me. Like, are you really relying on Darius Slay, another year older, as QB1? I would go high B.
I don't know.
I like the Cowboys defense more than them, to be honest, though.
Really? I don't know. I still think I like the Eagles defense a lot, but
I mean, the Cowboys, I'd be more comfortable with Micah Parsons and DeMarcus Lawrence pass rushing and trusting Deron Bland and Trayvon Diggs back there than, as good as, Bryce.
Jordan Love diced that defense up, though.
That's a playoff. I mean, Baker Mayfield diced the Eagles.
Well, you said if we're talking about playoffs, didn't we included another team for the playoffs, didn't we? Or am I thinking
you brought up playoffs and you brought how Jordan Love diced them.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but the Eagles got diced by a middle of the pack QB.
Yeah, you're right.
So I know you're trying to bring up the playoffs, but that's not the thing to bring up for the Eagles either. I mean, holy crap, Baker Mayfield cooked them too.
I'm just saying I'm willing to bet this year that the Eagles are going to have a better defense than the Cowboys.
In what it could happen, but I think overall the Cowboys are just better on defense. Regular season they've proven they can just be better.
I think you're a rookies hater. I think you hate on rookies.
You just don't know their impact. We can measure anything. Like we could just say this or that about rookies, but at the end of the day, we don't know how much they could produce. Like I think, I'm respecting the rookies, but I don't like Cooper DeJean. He fell for a reason. People thought he was going to be top 20. He ended up going second round. There's some traits to be concerned about him, and Quinyon Mitchell, I think, was good, but are we expecting him to, look day one? Like, I think it's, different. I think edge rushers, receivers, rookies can make a quicker impact than corners because corners, we've seen time to get used to. Jeff Okuda, even Derek Stingley took a year. We've always seen examples where Sauce Gardner, you can pan out early on, but that's just a gamble, and I'm playing it safe.
All right.
Next team, Commanders. They added a bunch of names.
They've got a good defensive front. Jonathan Allen.
Yeah, Dan Quinn's going to be coaching them. The defensive front alone will keep them in it. The secondary obviously has some question marks. Where do you want to go with this?
Like a C or a D?
I'll go C. Give them some respect. Give them
they did lose Kendall Fuller, didn't they?
Yeah. Low C, near Jaguars territory. Next team, Bears. This is a team that everyone's expecting to take a leap on defense in the way they ended the year, rightfully so. I mean, the way they ended the year, the last 7 weeks, they felt like the best defense, and then they add some players. I mean, it was that midseason trade where they got, I forget what his name from the Commanders. Sweat. That changed them around, and then the secondary re-signed Jalen Johnson. A lot of people are expecting this team to be the best defense in the NFC. Where would you want to go with this?
I would say around B, because if we're going off just we don't know yet. I mean, what they did last year, at the end of the year, like you just said, they were one of the best defenses in the league. They re-signed Teron Johnson, who was a beast for them. I would say B. They're not a top tier defense yet, but I definitely think they're probably better than the Patriots, probably better than the Bills, probably better than the Colts.
I mean, imagine if they still had Roquan Smith.
Right, exactly. Khalil Mack, all those guys they got rid of.
Yeah, and I mean, TJ Edwards and Tremaine Edmonds were huge for them, and then they added Kevin Byard, so this defense may be dangerous. I'd go high, middle of the pack B. Next team, Detroit. They added Carlton Davis to that secondary. They added DJ Reader to that front seven. So the defense could take another leap. They lost some players. I still think that linebacker core. How does Jack Campbell do going into his next season? I think they're good, though. I think they'll be good, but they have that. They just, for whatever reason, even that secondary still has some question marks. They still can get diced, the safeties, but you still have Aiden Hutchinson, DJ Reader coming out. I'd go around B. I mean, we're getting a lot of B defenses, but I think that's where they fit.
Yeah. Put them behind the Bears.
Yeah. And then maybe we can move the Buffalo down. I don't know.
Yeah. I think Buffalo's should not be up here.
Okay.
I see.
All right. Next team, Green Bay Packers. Jair really stepped up in the playoffs. That was huge. And the defense looked a lot better in the second half of the season. Joe Barry is gone, which is going to be a good thing. The front seven's still dangerous. I mean, the Packers the defense always finds a way to be dangerous. They extended Rashawn Gary middle of the season. I like this defense, but with that being said, I feel like with every team, the secondary still has some question marks. I feel like we've talked about a lot. But they were really good the second half of the season. I think this is another low B defense. I mean,
we're just stacking up on the B's.
Yeah, but is it there's really? I feel like maybe we move the Cowboys or Eagle both up to A.
Okay.
I mean, we got.
Ooh, then that kind of looks like too many A defenses. Because I don't think is there that many good defenses?
Yeah. Well,
okay, let's be fair. Okay, now hang on. Before we move on, the only just skipping ahead, I think San Francisco is the S of the NFC. If we're doing
it does. The secondary does concern me a little though. And losing Greenlaw for the first half of the year, I'm not quite sure. I would.
Is there a defensive team in the NFC you put in S tier?
If we have to put one in, because I feel like we should. What is the best defense in this conference?
I would still say San Fran. If you're
Okay,
not putting the Eagles or the Cowboys up there, then it's Sanford because none of these.
no, I know. I'm thinking, do we move the Eagles or Cowboys up? Just because San Francisco, Greenlaw, we saw in the second half of the Super Bowl when he goes down, that defense kind of switched. You still have Nick Bosa, but that other pass rush, I believe did they lose Chase Young?
I can't remember actually. I'll look it up real quick because, I don't think he did a whole lot.
Yeah, but just like that second edge rusher position.
Saints. He went to the Saints. That's right.
Yeah, that second edge rusher position kind of concerning. The secondary, you have Ward, but the other cornerback kind of concerning. You still have Hufanga, who's really good, but he's also coming off an injury. I don't know. We could just give them S out of respect, but I really do think the Cowboys or Eagles will be around the same, if not better. But I'll let you make the call on this one.
So you let me put the Eagles in S?
Yeah. That'll be like.
Do you feel more comfortable with the Niners or the
That'll
Eagles?
be your comeback if we come back to this and the Eagles are mid as fuck because Darius Slay and the other cornerback, the rookie, don't live up to the hype. We'll come back and pin this on you.
Okay. I'll be happy if the Eagles are sucking. I hate the Eagles.
So we'll put them S. That's fair enough. All right, but next team, my team. Let's go, Vikes. Defense was 15th last year, so basically around average. They lost Neil Hunter, but they also gained Jonathan Grenard from the Texans, Blake Cashman, Andrew Van Ginkel. So that front seven is going to be really solid. And the safeties, I still like. Harrison Smith has been around the block for a while, and Cam Bynum's really good. Really, the question mark is those cornerbacks. You have Shaq Griffin, but Kai Bell-Ackman was good, but he'll be entering his second year. And, Byron Murphy's just solid or whatever. Overall, I think they'll take the next step, probably be around the 10 to 12th defense. So I'd go B around there.
Yeah, I think Dallas Turner is going to have a really big
and that's the other thing. Dallas Turner. I think he's going to have a big season. Like how you put them right behind the Patriots. Next team, Falcons.
At this point, it doesn't really.
They have no pass rush. So that alone, Jesse Bates is solid, but I'd go C.
Yeah. They're not I don't think they're better than the Raiders.
Yeah.
We could throw
them in there. That's cool. Panthers are, even in their worst times, they're always scrappy, but they do lose Brian Burns. But even then, I think they're due for more of an offensive leap, and I think their defense will just get better by once again teams like the Jets and Patriots, their defense not staying on the field for 45 minutes of the game. Because even then, they just still had some interesting players, and if J.C. Horn can stay healthy, that'd be nice. I think personally they're going to be a decent defense, but they still got to prove it to us. So I'm cool with I still think they're better than the Broncos, but if you want to throw them a high D or low C, but the Panthers defense has always not been bad.
I'll give them the respect.
Yeah.
Just to clown the Broncos. We can say
all right. Fair enough. Saints. This is just kind of a whatever team to me. Cam Jordan's entering his age 50 season. We can do whatever with them. They're just literally the definition of whatever.
I'm just trying to remember the numbers they put up last year. They just are not memorable. You could put them in D.
Yeah.
Or were they a little better? Demario Davis. I'm just trying to remember.
I don't know. They're just so mid. I don't know. The Saints just suck.
You put them a little higher because they got Chase Young, so maybe Chase Young will.
Yeah, we can throw them C. I feel like we got to start throwing some teams though down in D, low key.
I kind of want to put Washington down there. I don't.
Yeah, we can put Washington. Put Broncos F then, because the worst defense in the league. Yeah. All right, that's cool. Maybe we could throw Panthers down there too. We got to.
Yeah.
We got to wait and see.
Broncos just make every tier look worse. So as long as you put them a tier below her.
Yeah, and then Buccaneers, still a solid front seven. Vita Vea, absolute dog. They did trade Carlton Davis away. But, this defense is always scrappy, great front seven. I think it's low-key a definition of like a low B, like high C defense. Antoine Winfield's back there still, so probably B.
Yeah, they've got solid pieces. Cardinals. Cardinals defense played okay last year, didn't they?
Yeah, Donovan Gammon had them playing all right. I'd go like C, though.
They've got no like crazy names.
Yeah. Next team, the Rams. Aaron Donald is gone, so we'll see how much that kind of takes a hit. But everyone else was kind of, it was a good story. They were all like rookies or undrafted guys. So I would go like still C. I'll give them the respect. I still think they'll find a way, but they're not going to be any. They're going to be a little bit worse than they were.
What are we thinking? Sorry,
I was thinking like C.
Okay. I know you're big on downfall.
Yeah. Maybe I was smoking that Giants pack too high. I say we move them down.
Yeah. See, coming down to earth a little bit.
Giants are C. Fuck the Giants. Yeah. Okay, that's cool. And then
Seattle
Seahawks. You got Witherspoon, who looked really good last year. Tariq Woolen. The front seven.
Brooks still there?
What?
Brooks. Is his name Jordan Brooks, the linebacker?
I think he is. Yeah, they did get rid of Jamal Adams, which isn't really much of a loss at this point. But they added that front seven guy, Leonard Williams. So go like they're solid, like high C, low B.
Okay. Yeah, I'll give them.
All right, sweet. So that was a list right there, folks. But with that being said, overall, can't complain too much. Got our S tier defenses, got the high A's, all that. Let us know in the comments what you agree, disagree with. This was fun. We're going to keep doing more of these as the season gets closer. But with that being said, can't wait for the season to start, man, because, I already want to see if our predictions are going to come true or not. But, make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoy this kind of content. This was the, defensive ranking projections for next season. Let us know if you agree, disagree with, and we'll catch you in the next one. Peace.